Hello friends, this is Manish Chauhan from jagoinvestor.com. In this video, I'm going to talk about EPS-95. Now, recently, Supreme Court had issued a notification and a lot of employers now are coming to the employees and giving them the circular and saying that, do you want to opt for the higher pension? You have to give joint declaration, and they are giving all the explanation in written form. But still, people are very confused that what should be my decision? What is this whole thing? Am I going to get high pension just like that without doing anything? But that's not the case. So let me help you understand this whole thing, and I'll tell you a few things based on which you will be able to take the right decision. So let us start. So first of all, we have to understand few old things, like how things work. Let's go a little backward. So when your income comes, right, when you see the salary slip, you must be seeing your basic salary. Now, 12% of that basic salary is your contribution, which is the employee contribution, and 12% of 12% is the employer contribution. They match it, right? So for most of the people, they just understand that, okay, I'm putting some money, my employer is putting that money, and it is going into EPF. But it's not that simple. Let us understand how things work internally. So imagine two boxes, EPF box and EPS box, okay? EPF is Employee Provident Fund box and EPS box is Employee Pension Scheme box. Okay. Now, why two boxes? EPF box gives lump sum at the retirement. When you retire, all the money which is lying into EPF box, you will get that money, right? It will come to your bank account and you are free to do whatever you want. The money which is lying in EPS box, you don't get to see the money, right? You don't know how much is there, but your pension is decided based on, few things which we'll look at after a few slides. Okay. So generally, if you put more into EPS box, you will get higher pension. That's the thing. Okay. So it will give you the fixed pension lifelong. You will not get the money. And let me repeat this. Whatever money is lying into EPF box, you will get it. Whatever money is lying into EPS box, you will not get it. Okay. You will get the pension all your life. Okay. This is very important to understand. Now, the employee contribution of 12%, that straight away goes into EPF. All money goes into EPF. But the employer contribution of 12%, 8.33 part goes to EPS and rest 3.67 part goes into EPF. Okay. But there is a catch. The catch is very simple. The government says that the maximum basic salary we will consider is 15,000 rupees at the moment, not more than that. If your basic salary is 30,000, 40,000, 1 lakh, 2 lakh, 10 lakh, 1 crore, we don't care. Maximum we will assume your basic salary to be 15,000. Okay. And we will do the calculation based on 15,000. Whatever money comes, it will go into EPS box. Rest, everything will go to EPF box. Okay. And if your salary is less than, if your basic salary is less than 15,000, then there is no issue. 8.33% of that will go to EPS and rest will go to EPF. Now let us understand this with an example. I think it will get more clear. So assume that a person has some higher level income, like 1.5 lakh, 2 lakh, 3 lakh, whatever. And the basic salary is 1 lakh rupees. Okay, remember this, basic salary is 1 lakh rupees. Now employee contribution of 12,000 will go into EPF, right? Nothing goes into EPS, right? From employee contribution. But from employer contribution, if you look at the formula, 8.33% of 12% of basic, which is 1 lakh rupees, right, is the basic salary. 8% of 8.33% of that, which comes to 8,330, that should go to EPS. Rest will go to EPF. This is true only if all the basic salary is considered, the full actual basic salary is considered, right? Which is what higher pension option is suggesting. Till now, it was not happening. It will start happening if you opt for higher pension option. Till now, what was happening? You can see the third line. Till now, what was happening? Even if your basic salary was 1 lakh rupees, government said that the maximum basic salary we will assume is 15,000, not more than that. So 8.33% of 15,000 will be calculated, which comes to 1,250, and that will go to EPS amount. Okay. Rest, whatever is remaining, which is 10,750, 12% should be 12,000 rupees. 1250 goes to EPS. So whatever is remaining, we'll put it into this box, EPF box, not EPS box. So what was happening till now, if you now look at the numbers, a very small portion was going into EPS and big chunk was going into EPF. Okay, that is what was happening till now. But if you opt for higher pension option, that will change. Okay, now let us first understand how pension will be calculated at the end. So till now, at this moment, what government has said is, first is that your age will be considered at 58. Once you retire at 58, that will be retirement. Okay, and as per the old system, if you still choose to be in the old system, then here is how it will be calculated. Your pension, per month pension, will be the average of last 12 months salary when you retire. At the end, whatever will be your salary, average of that, which is nothing but a monthly income, multiplied by the years in service divided by 70, whatever is the years of service. Right? And the higher pension option, if you're moving to higher pension option, then average of your last 5 years salary multiplied by years in service divided by 70. The maximum number of years in service will be 35. It will not be more than that. Even if you worked, it will not be more than that. And the maximum pension in the old system is limited at 7,500. This is the biggest issue actually. Okay, so maximum pension you can get is 7,500. Now, few more things you should know about pension rules is that the main person, the account holder, that person will get the lifelong pension. But if they die, the spouse will start getting 50% of the pension on their life. And if the spouse also dies, then the children will start getting 25% of the pension each, okay, till they turn 25 years. After that, they will not get it. Okay, if there is one child, they will get 25%. If there are two children, each will get 25. Okay, this is how the pension works. Now, let us take one simple example and you will understand. Assume there is a guy and these are the last 5 years of monthly income. 1 lakh, 1.5, 1.1 and like this. Assume that it is like this. So the old system, what it says is the last year salary, okay, average of 12 months. I'm assuming that it is same every month. So it will be 1.2 lakh rupees multiplied by 35 by 70. I'm assuming that the person has worked for 35 years. Okay. That comes to 60,000 rupees. Right? So what will be the pension? It will be 60,000? No, it will be 7,500 because the higher limit for the pension is set as 7,500. Right? But what happens if this person was in higher pension system? In that case, the average of last 5 years will be taken, which is what? 1,10,000. If you just do the calculation, multiplied by 35 by 70, that comes to 55,000 rupees. So this guy will start getting 55,000 rupees as a pension. Now at this point, you will feel that, 55,000 rupees pension versus 7,500. If I don't move to the higher pension system, I will get only 7,500 maximum. But if I move, I'll get higher pension, which is true. But you have to understand this. If you move to higher pension system, then what happens? You have to understand that. If you accept the higher pension option, then what is going to happen? Till now, your EPS box was getting less amount, right? So, more money has to come into this. It is assumed that if you choose higher pension option, all the back calculations will be done. And the recovery will be done from EPF account because that money should have gone to EPF and on your full salary, right? Because till now the calculation was done assuming the maximum basic salary of 15,000, but your actual salary was high, let's say. So it will be assumed that all the past calculation will be done. So EPS box should have more money and the recovery will happen from your EPF box. So some part on the back calculation will be done. Now how it will be done? It's very simple. It will be assumed that you were in the higher pension option and all the past calculation will be done. All the interest, whatever you have got, you would not have got that, right? Because that part of the money must be in EPS. So it would not be there in the EPF, right? So all the calculation will be done. It will be a complex calculation. Don't worry about that now. But you should mainly understand that a good chunk of money will come out of your EPF box and go into EPS box. Only then you will get higher pension. So your EPF box is reducing actually. Okay. So if you are currently working, then if you accept the higher pension option, then all the back calculation will be done, and money will move from EPF pool to EPF box to EPS box. For people who have already withdrawn their EPF, they are retired now, and I think the limit is 2014. All the people who have retired after that and they have withdrawn their EPF, they can still get higher pension from EPFO. But then, because now there is no EPF box and EPS box, right? EPF box is now empty. They have withdrawn everything. So they have to put back money into EPS. The calculations will be done. So that these are the two cases. I'm assuming that most of the people who are watching this video are falling into the first category, which is they're currently working. Okay, this is what will happen if you accept the offer. Now let's come to the main point and where you need the help, which is, shall you accept this offer? If you ask me personally, this is my personal opinion, but you are free to, think based on your situation, your, relationship with how you want, if you like guaranteed things, if you don't want to take risk, all that, you have to take your own decision. But I'll tell you my verdict. I feel one should not opt for it. Okay. I'll give you a few points and then you can think on that. First is that you have to choose between higher corpus, lower pension versus lower corpus and higher pension. What kind of person you are? Do you want higher corpus at retirement, that mera paisa mujhe de do, I don't care about the pension? Are you that kind of guy? If that is the case, then obviously you should not opt for it, because then a big chunk of your EPF money will go to EPS, which will not get in lump sum form. You'll get it in a pension form. Okay. So if you want to enjoy all the money, you have some plans to do something out of all your corpus at the retirement, then obviously you should not lock in the money in EPS. That is number one. But if you are a kind of person who is very, very comfortable with, एक pension आएगा, पूरी जिंदगी pension fix आते रहेगा, and it is 100% guaranteed from government, and if you like that, it's fine. You can then accept the offer. That is point number one. The second is, okay, let me add one more point. First of all, understand that if you choose higher pension option, you will get lifelong pension from government, right? But understand one thing, even if you get all the money at the end, if you get higher EPF money in your hand, you can always buy any pension scheme. There are tons of pension schemes from all the companies. If you want to be 100% secure, if you really are of that opinion, then you can go with LIC and you can buy a deferred annuity plan, right? Immediate annuity plan. And you can put all a big lumps and your pension will start from the next day. You have much better options there, more variety of, choices there. And you are free to take it then and then. You can wait for 5-6 years and then take it. So there is more flexibility if you don't choose it, right? Understand this one point. Next point. One thing which a lot of people I saw in one of our groups is that a lot of people have worked in different organizations, and once they shifted from one organization to another, they worked for 5-6 years at one place, then they shifted somewhere, and they have not moved their EPF account. Their companies have closed and they've not done the process. So when they're checking their, how much years of service is complete, they're not seeing the full thing. They worked for 18 years, but they are seeing that I worked for only 10 years because of, I would say, they have not completed that process because there are too many things. So, you have to also think on this point. If you move to higher pension option, then you have to also think how that serviceable years will be calculated, who will do it, how about the tracking, do you now have to go to the old company and do all the documentation, and all these hassles are there. So it will come with that. One more point is that, are you comfortable locking a big chunk for all your life for pension? I have already talked about this. Fourth point is, how mentally comfortable are you with the EPF and EPFO department? Because I see a lot of people, they just don't want to deal with, EPFO. They say, no, it's too much of work and I don't have that much of trust. Ye hoga, wo hoga, baad mein kya hoga. So do you want to put a big chunk of your wealth with EPFO all your life? Or are you saying that, no, give my money once I retire and I will see what I want to do? If you're that kind of person, definitely it doesn't make sense for you to choose that. And one more point is very I've not seen this many people talking about, but I was just thinking that the formula for pension, what you will get is dependent on your last few years of income, right? In case of in case of higher pension scheme, your last 5 years. Now imagine this: someone who is in government job, their graph will keep on going up, right? Their last years of income will definitely be more than their current income and like that. But what about someone who is in private job? What if you want to move out of your high paying job at age 50 and you want to shift to another job which is not that high paying, but you don't want that much of stress, that much of stress from the job? What if you are ready to come down in case of salary? Then what will happen is, at the end of your career, your salary will not be the highest in your overall journey. So your calculation will be done based on your last 5 years. So I don't think that it is the right way. I don't know why whoever came up with this whole system, how they designed it, they have not thought about it. So that is one case, one very important thing to think about. So based on all these things, now we see these 5 questions, put your answer to this, and then take the decision. I think for most of the people, it is not making a lot of sense. But here I should also tell one point. If you just do the calculation if you assume some salary increase and interest rate of 8.1% in EPF, if you do some calculation, you will find out that the pension payout at the end is quite good. Okay, the percentage, how much you are getting of your entire corpus, it is quite good. It is really attractive. The only thing is that it is fixed, right? So in the start, it looks big, but over the years, if you are going to live for a very, very long time, slowly what will happen is, because the inflation is there, right? But the pension is fixed. So over time, that money will not look very, very attractive. So this is one point which I thought I shall share with you. Okay. So yeah, based on this, you take the decision. I think you got a lot of clarity. And if you have any question, please put it in the comment section. Or if you are one of our clients, you can also send the query directly to us. So thanks a lot. I hope this helped you. Bye.